Hello everyone, I hope you are well. In today's video we look at Juji Gatame, or the #1 armbar. Now from an Aikido point of view, if you do end up on the floor, this is a very useful technique to have in your armoury. It's fairly easily applied and there's lots of variations depending on the situation. Now if you doubt its effectiveness, check out Ronda Rousey in her heyday. This was pretty much her go-to technique. As always, if you found this useful, smash that like button, click the bell thing so you get future notifications. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and thank you very much for watching.
Look at the finishes to do with this Juji Gatame, the #1 armbar over here. So some of you have obviously done it before, what we call the modern armbar, where both legs are over the top, okay? And we'll start from there. Okay, so we're in this position over here. I'm going to clamp my knees together over here. The arm that's closest to the legs is the one that's going to trap the arm, okay? The one that's closest to the head is the one that's going to be my steering wheel on the wrist, okay? If he was holding on to something over here, if I'm over here, all I'm going to be able to do, and if he closes that a little bit, all I'm going to be able to do is try and stick my finger in his butt or try and punch him a little bit. There's hardly anything I can do over here. But if I'm on this side, oh, you want to resist this? Okay then, you want to keep resisting it until I smash you to pieces, right? So this is the spare arm, right? We can play with his eyes, we can pull on his hair, we can, you know, reach over and put our hands in his throat and do all kinds of fun things. This one's a bit boring, we just kind of hit him in the balls. That's all we can kind of do in here, or, you know, but he'll probably protect that. You know, so it might be a bit harder for me to hit him in the balls. Okay, so we'll get rid of that for now. So, arm that's closest to the legs, trapping the arm, right? The other one's the spare arm, that's our steering wheel. Okay, so what we want to do is we don't want to be directly horizontal in this position. We want to go just above the shoulder line, maybe 10, 15, 20 degrees above the shoulder line. Okay, we're going to pull on his arm. We're going to sit back with the thumb to the sky, because if the thumb's to the sky, then the elbow joint is in the body. Right? Sitting back over here, he'll probably tap before I even hit the ground, and then lift up my hips if he hasn't tapped yet. Okay? That's the basics of #1 armbar. Okay? Trap it in here, steering wheel, come through over here, straighten it through, and he's tapping as soon as I reach the bottom there, because it's unpleasant, right? Yeah. And it's attacking in that position. I don't do any of the clamping your feet together kind of stuff. I just keep my toes together. That's the objective there. Okay, so that's for any of those. So from here, as that's in here, he puts it in here, there. We don't put the second leg over for this one, but we can if we wanted to. It's just an extra step to do this. Okay, so from here, we just drop down. We can. There's the finish. It's all the same at that point there. The reason for the second leg is more a sporting one. If your objective is to break, this is what you're doing on the way down. Right? But if you do that, you run out of training partners. So this one in here is just a nice, safe, harder for him to get out of position. So we call that one with the two legs over, we call that the modern armbar. And with the one leg over, that's just over the head, we call that Japanese armbar. Okay, that's just within my club, just as a transition. Japanese armbar, ideally you do it because you're doing it faster, you're saving one step of getting that leg out, right? And your objective is to break, right? Modern armbar is to give you that submission, which is the controlled finish where they have a chance to kind of tap, okay? In a real life self-defense situation, you're either going to break their arm or you're not going to break their arm. There's no in-between, give up kind of situation. So if I'm down here, just on the ground, right? And I'm in this position over here, and I'm saying, be nice now, okay? I'm going to let you go and I'm going to get up, right? I'm not going to break your arm because you're nice and you promised. As soon as I release this, that elbow is going straight for the groin. He's going to start fighting, right? How can I trust him? He attacked me, okay? Or maybe I attacked him. But he attacked me, right? How can I trust him in this position? You don't really have an in-between here, right? So if I was going to do this, I really don't have a choice. That is to break his arm. Okay? That's why we always prefer to take strangles if we can, because a strangle, you get, most of the time, you get a second chance, right? You make them pass out and then you can decide what you're going to do, right? Whereas with an armbar, you kind of broken the joint, you've broken the joint. You don't really have that second choice. Okay? So have a go at that one. You can either do it off the throw again, or if you're not as familiar with doing the Juji Gatame, find another person who is perhaps a little bit more familiar and just have a couple of goes of just finishing that armbar. And try and remember to put it above the shoulder line. If you do it here, you've got a lot more movement. Up here, there's a nice little gap in here that starts to work for you. Okay, cool, have a go. A few of you guys are trying to finish the armbar from a bit far away, all right? And if you're a bit far away, you might be able to finish it by lifting your hips, but there's just too much space over here. Okay? If there's too much space over here, it's very difficult to finish this armbar. Okay? So, you've got a couple of options in here if you find yourself into this position. The first one is, with this arm that's busy smashing him in the head, you just put it on the ground here, and you what we call a bum walk. Okay? I know, we're very scientific in our naming. The Japanese bum waku. Okay? So, put hand on the ground, bum waku, your bum closer, and you can finish the armbar from there. Okay, that's your first option. But you might have got a bit excited, you might have already started going down to the ground in here. Once you're already in this position over here, I can't do my bum walk anymore, because at this point here, it's starting to give him an exit. Okay, so I end up in this position here, and I go, it's going to be hard to finish this. Now, I could sacrifice my groin and use my groin to try and finish it, but I'm not that determined. So I kind of want to find a better way to do it. And we've still got that steering wheel available. So if I change the steering wheel and now point it in this direction, that means that the joint has kind of moved a little bit so that it's now facing this way, which means that I can finish the armbar this way. And I can be in the wrong place and I can still finish the armbar. And he's tapping pretty quickly actually. And if I turn it this way, and I move my leg a little bit up, I can finish it this way because I've turned the joint to go across to this point. Okay, so I don't have to do the bum walk if I've already committed. Okay. The same thing I could do is do that turn and place it underneath my armpit here, and I could change the angle, lift that leg up a little bit, and finish the armbar on this one. He's tapping pretty quickly. That says that there's a bit of pressure there. Okay, so ideally we notice here, bum waku, knee together, finish. Put yourself into the right place. Right? And again, if we're here, that's quite a difficult bum walk if we've switched the hands and gone the other way. It's more like a groin humpy move. Right? It becomes awkward, especially if you have to buy him lunch first or something, you know. So in this position here, am I allowed to make this joke? I might get a whole bunch of beeping on the YouTube. Okay, have a go at that. Just put yourself in the wrong place and see how to fix it. Cool. Thanks, guys.